this show.
Yes.
This show is probably one of the best shadow casts I think I've seen. The integration of the lights and the fact that it wasn't really overpowered, either medium overpowered, another medium, and the cast itself was very good. So I had a blast. I thought the audience the audience interaction was amazing, and it was a good crowd of people. I think one of my favorite parts is probably Roti strolling around on his little scooter. I like the little things. I like the jazz hands. I like the little parts that they put in that are kind of not making fun of it, but taking the laugh along with it. So I like all of that stuff. And I like the way that they incorporated a lot of the visuals up on the wall. Again, it kind of makes it, brings everybody into the scene. So you're not kind of concentrating on one or the other. And those little things are subtle things. Little things like lights when they're talking. Little things I like subtle things like that. Production.
And you can see that all the way back there.
I look for things like that. So that's just me probably being a bug a little bit, because I look for little things like that make such a difference to the audience.
So since you're primarily known for your music, is it surprising to you that something like this has gained so much notoriety and such a cult following?
It is. It's a pleasant surprise. It's a wonderful surprise. I mean, we obviously did it, and it was my first film, so I'm not the one to say, but Anthony had. Terrence had told me that Anthony had said that it was kind of a really unique set. Out of all the productions that he's worked on, he's never really had a group of people that were that close. And the reason, it was partially because we were all friends, and partially because we knew we were doing something kind of unique. But as well, we kind of gotten together the month before and did all the music, so we kind of got a chance to know each other. So when we were on set, it wasn't really tight with people. So I don't have a reference for that because it was my first film, but everybody else seems to feel that way. And watching it tonight, I mean, you get farther and farther away from it, you start to see that kind of, there's a certain amount of love put into the film. Whatever you want to say about it, if you hate it, you hate it. If you love it, you love it. But there is a lot of passion that's been put into the film. And that's Darren and the writers. That's both Darren Bousman, the director, and Darren Smith and Terrence Zunich, who wrote the thing. They put everything into it and fought hard for it.
So what's your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie. There's a number of favorite horror movies. I love the Italian genre. I love a lot of Fulci's stuff because of its ability to be very kind of almost abstract. It was a fantastic. Oh my God! It was a wonderful. Bill was the best. Bill was the best movie I've ever seen. Just keep talking. Bill Moseley was the best movie I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a better movie than Bill Moseley. The Bill Moseley sequel was amazing. Bill Moseley in Rogue River was amazing, absolutely amazing. The underwear shot was just worth the price of admission itself. What are we talking about? Favorite horror movie besides Bill Moseley. One of my favorite horror icons would probably be. Still to this day, I have a certain thing for The Exorcist. Just because it was a movie that affected me when I was. It's part of a genre of films in the '70s that I love, which are very realistic and gritty, and it was. Still to this day, I don't think it's been touched as far as a possession, kind of the idea of going to religion and that kind of scary side of belief. Because it was the whole movie's about a leap of faith in a lot of ways, and it touched on so many things, and even came back, with the walking backwards spiral and all that stuff. I just love that stuff. He never made a film that surpassed that, and so that's one of my favorites. Fulci's Gates of Hell, another classic. And I could go on and on.
I know you could. We get the feeling. We get the feeling too. What's the difference between being covered in blood on stage versus doing it actually if you look at the camera white?
Well, there's two things. On stage, it's more controlled sometimes. For me, because I'm in control of it, and I know what's in the blood. Although I've eaten some blood that's had photo flow in it, which is it's a chemical used to stop blood from beating, basically. So it gives it a sheen. And I thought, I loved it because it didn't look like beating blood, but it's photo flow. It's a chemical used for photo enhancing, for photo developing. And I was drinking a lot of it, so I've developed an allergy to red dye, and when I did the 2001 Maniac shoot, I was sprayed with so much blood that I got blepharitis, which is eye infection, and pharyngitis. and I went to a doctor who was a very old, traditional Eastern European doctor, and he asked me, he goes, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I was on a movie set. I got sprayed with blood. I got it in my eyes and in my throat, and I've got infection, I think." He goes, "Real blood?" And I was like, "No, fake blood." And he looked at me kind of like I was maybe a male porn actor or something, and it was took a load in the face or something. I don't know. Sorry, that's probably not good for you. Just cut that out. But I really got that feeling from him. So that was probably the worst. On set, sometimes you really can't control. I've learned that you can't control the quality of the blood. So this stuff for 2001 Maniacs, I've been sitting out all day in 90-degree weather. So it was just full of bacteria. So I got sprayed with a canister. There's a fire extinguisher full of blood that was bacteria.
That's scary.
So blood on movie sets, no. Blood on stage, yes.
And what can you tell us about Kaleidoscope?
Kaleidoscope was a test song we did for the new Ogre record. It's kind of a lead into the website, and is kind of dictating where the new album's going to go. It's a free download. We were kind of experimenting with people download music as opposed to pay for music. So we put 2 songs up. Kaleidoscope was free, and Tragic was for $1 to see what the differences are. So it was self-market. A bit of an experiment, but Kaleidoscope was something we wrote in a couple of days, and was kind of opening up the idea of Mr. Brownstone, that character, and the world that he inhabits.
So there is a new Ogre CD coming out?
Yes.
Can you give us a date, or is that...
No, I can't. Start working on it when I get back pretty heavily, and then I think we're looking for the spring for release date.
And everybody is dying to know. You mentioned Skinny Puppies is going to put out its last album.
There, that's the answer. In the year the new Skinny Puppy will be released. Can you figure that out? There's a date within all of this, okay? We're working on the new Skinny Puppy. It has no title yet. It has no street date, but it's being discussed as tomorrow when I get home. No, I was probably like spitting out my ass there.
Good.
I mean, I'm hoping not. I could never tell. I mean, honestly, they get harder to make as time goes on, for whatever reason. I mean, the Ogre project for me is a little easier because I'm working with someone I've worked with for a long time, and Skinny Puppy becomes something that's a bit more by music by committee. And so they're getting a little more difficult to make, but yeah, we're gonna follow through it. We have a contractual commitment to finish it, and part of it's done, so it'll be done.
I'm happy with that.
Well, I'm sorry it's taking so long. I'm sorry. What can I say? It's life.
And so this will be my last question, I promise.
Okay.
Basically, I want to know, and I'm sure the people do too, like, are you planning on doing more movies? Are you going to stick with music? Do you have any?
Well, I mean, obviously, I want to do both. Movies is something that I've had some luck and serendipity in. Getting a few good roles. 2001 Maniacs was really not a great film per se, but I had a great kill in it. I love my kill; it was amazing. So I had a lot of fun with that. And yeah, I'd love to do more. Of course, I'm doing a short film with a woman, Stacey Lane Wilson, which is it's a take on Poe's Annabelle Lee. So I'm doing this next week. I'm doing the narrator for that. Pretty simple stuff, basic, profile shot kind of stuff. But doing that, and yeah, once I just got back from tour, I'm going to put a reel together and see what I can do with it. But it's a bit like starting over. I mean, it's a whole new kind of part of the industry for me, and in this time, there's a million other actors that want the jobs. So it's you have to kind of find the right project that fits in. And I'm gonna dig in more because I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Great.